Switch 2 is coming. Well, the Direct is coming out tomorrow. I know this is kind of different from what I usually speak on, but I like to speak on anything that's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Things that interest me, things that I like. I'm very excited for the Nintendo Switch 2. I want to see what the hardware is about. Still skeptical because they really haven't shown too much about what's happening. I mean, of course, they had to show the prototype because the prototype was already leaked, so they had no choice but to kind of display it. I get all of that. They showed there is a Mario Kart. I want to see more about it. You know what I mean? I just don't want the same type of characteristics we've had. Because mind you, the Nintendo Switch has been using the same graphics since the GameCube. So hopefully this is like a very big upgrade compared to what we had to deal with in the past. I hope that the controller itself has a better button mechanic as far as no Joy-Con, no joystick drift or Joy-Con drift. Definitely want to have a situation where like just the games are better. If there is a new Zelda, if there is a remake, my two favorites of all time will have to be Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time. Either of those two would be great. Shoot, even Wind Waker HD on it makes sense too. I mean, whatever the situation is. But like those are my two main, like Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time by far. I like Breath of the Wild, but to me it was still like a beta. Like I like Breath of the Wild. Don't get me wrong, I like Breath of the Wild. I didn't really like the bosses and as far as the cave, the dungeons you had to go to with inside like the mechanical beasts. I'm kind of making up names, but like that was cool. It was all right. I mean, for what it was, no, it was definitely it was an evolution in it. You know what I'm saying? As far as Tears of the Kingdom, yeah, Tears of the Kingdom was good to a degree. The beginning was amazing. I mean, just the whole plot in the beginning was perfect. And then the more you got into it, it just fell apart. A lot of things that I didn't like. I just really thought that Tears of the Kingdom would have had, better mechanics as far as like just too much of the fusion, and then like certain things with the fusion just didn't last long. Like I thought I could build a castle in the sky with all the fusion techniques, but that didn't happen. You were limited in certain things within that particular mechanic. And then they just dropped the ball to me me just personally thinking about it, like just the story plot. It was good, and then it just didn't make sense in certain cases, and just certain things just didn't make sense. Like, Zelda being the dragon the whole entire time with the Master Sword in her head. It just wasn't doing it for me. And then getting it off, and then it being a whole different timeline within the timeline I just feel like, honestly, personally, in my opinion, Zelda needs to go back to the drawing board and that. What else? I just want to see the specs to see if like the graphics really uphold to like a PlayStation 4 and in handheld, which is kind of dope because I can just see myself playing Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't, like if everything works correctly, that would be super fire. Just having like Call of Duty on the go, like a real Call of Duty just on the go would be fire. Like to be able to play Warzone on the go, it's fire. Like that's super, super fire. What else? I know people are looking for Mario Odyssey 2. I just really just want them to make a really good Mario game that brings the best out of the 3D worlds that they've ever made, which I can say Odyssey's good. Galaxy's really, really good. Second one, all right, but the first one, that's a classic. And then Mario 64, if they could put those three together and make something really, really dope, that'll be fire. You know what I'm saying? Also, like, a dope Smash Brothers, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. But I'm really looking forward to like what the Switch is planning to offer at this point. You know what I mean? And doing something completely different. If they could bring third-party games that can run just like a PlayStation or Xbox, that's super cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing what, Nintendo is planning to do with this Direct tomorrow. And even more games that we don't know about. Maybe they could bring in resurrect certain games from the Super NES that they had. They had a lot of gems on that we didn't get a chance to see or even do remakes for. But, I truly believe, like, Nintendo's going to keep doing other things to gain other people involved, which I get, but at the same time, I'm definitely looking for new games, and then old games that do need remakes, you know, especially Ocarina of Time or Link to the Past. Like, I got to do something with that, man, so that the story makes sense. Like, you know, one thing that I always say about Zelda, they kind of leave you on cliffhangers and potholes that never get fixed correctly. And it's just like they try to do it in the Historia text. And it's just like, can we get something that really makes sense so that it can like really work out for the best benefit? That would be great. But yeah, just my thoughts. Tell me what you guys are looking for the Nintendo Switch for. Let me know.